What's going on, everyone? It's BB94 here again, and I'm back with another video. And today I want to just talk about a few things that I think need to be adjusted in the Crucible. This is my first Rumble match I've had in a long time in the background here, and I've been waiting on playing Rumble just because I want to see what the players are gravitating towards as far as loadouts, weapons, armor, classes, subclasses, all that. And it seems like people have kind of found what's really effective, and we'll go into it a little bit later in the video, but the basic overview is the fact that Thorn is back, and it is still an incredibly powerful weapon. It seems like right now, Thorn, if you're not using it and you're up against someone that is using it, you're at a severe disadvantage. So the reason I come up with that is because if you just look at the guy that wins this Rumble match at the end of the video, you can see he was using Thorn, he was using a high impact, high range, rangefinder shotgun, and he was on a Warlock and all that, and just the way that he was playing, it really seemed like it was definitely part of it was his skill, I will give him that, but the weapons and the gear that he was using did help him win. I definitely feel that that was part of the issue as well. So I do want to address Thorn a little bit because it is something that players are seeing more and more lately. And Thorn, although it can't kill someone with 2 headshots and then the damage over time, it still can 3-shot to the body and kill them with poison afterwards. So this first clip is a really good example. So at range is a guy on my left that I start shooting at. I do get the first hit on him, but as you can see there, he just melts me with 3 shots with Thorn. The last shot definitely was a headshot, so I will give him that. But the fact that Thorn just makes it so that if anyone is going up against a player with Thorn, it just gives them a really bad disadvantage because Thorn, no matter where you hit them on the body, and it fires very fast, keep in mind too, if they get 3 body shots, you're dead in most circumstances. So that's just one thing that it just bothers me. Thorn, if it was removed from the game completely, I would be more than happy. It's something that just never seemed balanced. And so that's one of my main gripes. Obviously, if anything is going to get fixed, I would hope it would be the Crucible lag. It's just something that needs to go away. Too many times while I'm playing the Crucible, I'm trading kills with people, and it's just frustrating because I know it's due to lag. Another thing that seems to be due to lag is the fact that melee hits are just not registering sometimes, and you'll see it even a few times in this video where I just go to melee somebody and it makes the sound that I melee them, but it doesn't do any damage to them. Like I said, it could be due to lag, it could just be due to me being just out of range, but in most situations it seems like it should have been a hit that just didn't count. So yeah, hit detection, and especially for Arc Blade, because it's a super that relies on close-up kills with meleeing, it just makes it really tough to get kills. I stopped using my Blade Dancer because the super is just so unreliable, and you can see there I punched the guy and it looked like I hit him, but I did not do damage. So yeah, Arc Blade and Blade Dancer I just stopped using now. People are just sitting back and sniping, so it's just hard to get close to people, and then when you do get close to them, you'll even see on your super bar that you do hit them with your melee, but it doesn't do damage. It just does not register properly. Probably due to lag, but maybe there's something that Bungie could do to kind of fix that and make it more reliable of a super, because it doesn't seem like effective as it used to be. So those are a few things. Another thing I'm going to address too is shotguns later on. And again, you'll see here, that's just another melee that didn't register, and I had to finish him off with my primary weapon. That was a good shotgun. Not gonna lie, that was fair.
Heavy ammo on the way.
One thing that I'm going to talk about too is I think shoulder charge needs to get changed somehow. The fact that you can just use shoulder charge to spin around in the air and do a 180 on a dime and immediately start sprinting the other direction, it's something that just doesn't make sense. It doesn't physically even seem possible, but it's something that you can be used effectively if you got a good player, especially when you're running Twilight Garrison. You could just dodge people all over the place with shoulder charge and 2 Twilights. I'm still trying to get used to using it effectively. So that's one thing too. Another thing is special ammo. it's very plentiful in smaller playlists where there's less people that are just grabbing it right away. This clip here, watch again. You'll see that the guy hits me with a shotgun initially, and then he goes for a melee, and it clearly looks like he was close enough to hit me, but it did not hurt me at all, and then he finished me off with a shotgun anyway. So even against me, I'm seeing that people are meleeing, and it's not doing damage. And it's something that does not feel reliable. But shoulder charge should work like that. If you're going straight at someone, and they're coming straight at you, you should win the fight. What shoulder charge allows you to do is just change direction in midair, and even change altitude in midair, and just do a 180, shoulder charge up or down into someone. I don't think that's something that seems balanced, because it's less on the player's skill that's doing that, and another melee that didn't hit, just pointing it out. It's less reliant on a player's skill and more reliant on the ability itself. That's something that just bothers me, and it makes the Crucible less about skill and more about what abilities and weapons and supers and everything that people are using. The supers should be powerful, but they also should still take skill. If you look at this clip here where I just killed that first guy with Mida there, you can clearly see that he backed around the corner and I still got the kill. Whether it was just due to lag registering the hit or due to the aim assist that Mida has a lot of, that would not make sense in the real world. If you start shooting through a wall and it hits him, it doesn't make any sense. So I think aim assist needs to get addressed, or just being able to hit people that are slightly around a corner. That's something that just bothers me when it's done to me or when I do it to people too. It just does not feel like a fair fight. So you see here, I'll just keep grabbing special ammo, and I have more than I'll ever need. They definitely should look at how much ammo you get in these smaller playlists. So here, I shoulder charge up into somebody. Definitely felt pretty cheap doing that one, not gonna lie. He shotgunned me too, so it was a trade, but he should have just gotten me with a shotgun if anything, because the shoulder charge just did all the work for me. This I want to talk about here. He didn't really do anything unfair there. He punched me and he grenaded me at the same time, but I think the Sunsinger class, subclass, needs to be looked at because it has just too many ridiculous abilities. First of all, Warlocks, no matter what subclass they're using, they can use the Ram and just get free armor and just become a tank. The Ram was designed just for being able to use lifesteal and also having armor, so that if you're winning a melee fight, then, or if you're in a melee fight, you'll win the fight because you have the armor and you have the instant healing on the Voidwalker. But what people just use it for is becoming a tank and just tanking any kind of damage with the Ram. Even on Sunsinger and Stormcaller, you can just use the Ram and take a shoulder charge, for example. Another thing that Sunsingers have is firebolt grenades that have really high range, and they burn players if you have Touch of Flame on, and they hit more than one person, and they can also be extended with Viking Funeral. And another final thing for Sunsingers is the fact that they get tons of them with Radiance. And the final thing is they have Flame Shield, which procs on melee hits. You don't even have to get kills with it, which is pretty stupid. Any kind of melee battle, if you're up against a Warlock, chances are you're probably going to lose it, because most of the time they're either running Stormcaller, which has really high range on Thunderstrike, and it has feedback, or it has Sunsinger, which gives you a Flame Shield when you get your melee. So, yeah, those are just a few things that, to me, I'm kind of just venting now, but they definitely need to look at improving Arc Blade on Blade Dancer, majorly adjusting the Sunsinger subclass, because it is just such a tank and such an annoying subclass to play against in the Crucible. I've gone flawless in trials a few times, and most of that was just due to the firebolt grenades burning people. And if you're using Thorn too, you can burn them even more. And burning, you can track people with it too. It just does not make for a fun experience. It makes the Crucible less about skill and more about what you're using and what's effective at the moment, which does not seem like a fun experience, at least to me. So, hopefully Bungie takes a look at some of these things that I've discussed, and maybe we'll make some changes. So, I'll see you guys in the next video.